looks like we're back to that dragon cancer. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for the YouTube algorithm.
Oh, I wasn't even gonna chill out on this game. It's been making me
Always
emotional.
chill. The black stuff's like supposed to be cancer.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay.
I have so many things stirring around in my spirit that I have to write, to settle myself and find God's wisdom in the midst of chaos. I'm scared I won't be strong enough to face the things we might have to face in the coming weeks and months. But then I remember how much grace God gave us to walk out everything we've already faced. I've never felt completely overwhelmed, and I've never felt alone. So no matter what comes next, and I truly cannot even begin to guess how this will go, I know we will be carried. I want to shout out, look what God is about to do. Watch how he delivers Joel. And at the same time, I want to roll up in a silent ball and wait it out with fear and trembling, so aware of all my doubt, but yet convinced that my doubt is insignificant compared to God's faithfulness.
Guys, are you ready for bed?
Joel, lay down. Okay. Should we do a song?
Sure.
Okay, big boys, why don't you come in here and we'll sing the littles a lullaby. I'm tired. I know, it's bedtime. Ugh, okay. Oh, Elijah, lay down.
Big, did you even check in his mouth?
Who's Joel? No.
Joel has chicken stuck in his cheeks from dinner.
That is so disgusting.
Been in there for the last 2 hours.
Oh.
Okay, hold on, I'm trying. Joel, ouch! Stop.
Did he just bite you?
I think he like just put too much in his mouth so he can't swallow.
He was just saving it for later, babe. Like you did at midnight again.
We've been through so much already. This is a new degree of tragedy, but it's not so much different from the struggle we've already been living. We pressed into God. We pressed into faith. We fought until we found peace. We stood in peace when our flesh wanted to strive more. We stood in peace when it started to feel like laziness or foolishness or both. We waited for God to direct us specifically in prayer because all the directions we had initiated had not panned out. We prayed for no nausea because that's what we felt in our spirits we were supposed to pray, even though we'd prayed it countless times before while Joel continued to vomit. We saw one small miracle and then another. We waited to pray specific things until we were given specific direction, and we saw bigger miracles. And yet, if you asked either of us if we were doing enough, trying hard enough, we would say no.
I had been in this room with my father before, during the brief window where he wasn't dying but was instead getting better. That wasn't the man I saw this time. I saw the other one. The one who cried out and needed holding. The one who fell asleep for 20 seconds and then woke up a different person each time. There was a clear part right in the middle of it, a minute or so, where everything was calm before his tour of hell resumed. That was goodbye, even if no one said it. I don't think I will ever get better after having seen that. I think this is the kind of knowing that stays with you. I can reach into my pocket now and find it there. I am at Seattle Children's Hospital, and nobody wants to be here. Even as an internationally recognized temple of healing, every inch of it is terror. Every cubic inch of every room that is not occupied by terrified children and terrified parents is filled to its capacity with a terror wholly unique to that family, which no other person has any power to comprehend. There is art on the walls and rooms which is designed to evoke a jungle of some kind, and I resent it. Every giraffe is my sworn enemy. Even though every natural law indicates it, even though popular culture is rife with examples, even though the arc of his condition moved with haste in a particular direction, specifically down, I was very surprised when my father died. I was surprised that he could. It wasn't merely naivete. Those afflicted with his particular cancer number less than 100. It is the sort of cancer that excites a doctor. One of the things that is so exciting about this cancer is that it apparently didn't form the hard masses we use to find the disease. Rather, it converts the meat of your abdomen into a kind of undifferentiated doom. What might happen is that they will attempt to draw your blood and instead draw out the green syrup that was once your guts. Shortly thereafter, they will tell you and your family that the fight is over.
Jesus Christ.
God, yeah, that was depressing.
That was like,
The ravenous
I didn't know that was a
reverie of
thing.
waking is but a distant memory. Or was it a dream? I can't remember the last time I woke up hungry. Not so long ago, carefree, welcoming the challenge of yoga on paddleboards, springing through the rain and over puddles at the reservoir track. Weathering several storms since entering the first battlefield over 2 years ago. A succession of precise scalpels, high energy beams, and pharmacological strategies. A journey no one asks for. Still standing, spirit unyielding but not the same. With each treatment an imprint, evidence of what came before. Willing rogue mutinous cells to yield to my current tailored chemical onslaught. Stay put and do not multiply. Or better yet, disappear altogether. By the will of God, through the tools of modern medicine, with the support of family and friends. Onward.
Let's never get cancer.
I don't think people plan to. I think it's just one of those things that just kind of happens.
Awful.
Not sure where the game wants me to fly to next.
To go into the boat. Yeah, try the boat from here.
I'll try. No.
Wait, there's like an eyeglass thing to your left.
To my left?
Right there. Right there.
As this long day draws to a close, I am tired, but not sleepy. My face is puffy from crying, I have a dry throat, and dry hands, a slight headache, and a desire to write down absolutely everything. I want to describe the feeling of being entirely empty and entirely resolute. I want to explore how I can be deeply sad and incredibly hopeful at the same time. I want to talk about holding Joel's hand, walking down the hall wanting to soak in the moment, to memorize the feeling of having his hand and mine, to let it matter, and then hating that my thoughts swing to, because what if I can't hold his hand one day? And hating that thought, wishing I could just appreciate each second of Joel without that appreciation spilling into the pre-morning I refuse to do because I believe he will live. But instead of fighting the brief thoughts of mourning, choosing to fight instead that lie that says that those thoughts betray some doubt, some mistrust of God, when I know that those thoughts make me human. That God knows I am human. He doesn't make Joel's victory dependent on me never feeling unsure.
Dear Eli, I feel nothing but pride for the way you battled cancer. I remember the way you learned to ride your tricycle down the hospital hallway instead of down the sidewalk like other 3-year-olds. It was hard for me to pray to God, "Thy will be done," when I really just wanted so desperately for him to heal you. In the 4.5 years that you dealt with harsh treatments, only once did you ask why God let you get cancer. I hope he has been able to explain the why to you, as I have always believed that he knew how strong you were and wanted to use you in your situation to positively impact so many lives. I remember how you never let me go to bed without telling me that you loved me and how those were your very last words to me. You taught me what was truly important in life, son. Still now, years after you left Earth, people are impacted by your life and the lessons you taught us. Thousands of people from around the world read your blog and still feel such a strong connection to you, even though they never met you in person. You would be happy to know that we continue to sell the Beat Cancer t-shirts that you love so much. We're still using them to raise awareness and funds for childhood cancer research and family and patient support programs. When you passed away, my greatest fear was that you would be forgotten. So many people still talk about you and how you changed their lives. That is such a precious gift to me as your father. Eli, you truly impacted more lives in your almost 8 years on Earth than many people do in a lifetime. I love you, buddy, and I can't wait to see you again. Love, Dad.
So, how long will we be in California? I don't actually know. That's kind of why we're packing up everything, is because if the trial works really well, then maybe we'll stay in California for a really long time. Like, as long as it keeps helping Joel, then we want to stay and do the best we can for him and stay there where he's getting help. But if the medicine starts to not work, as soon as it's not helping him, I promise we'll come back home.
Are we going to Disneyland?
Yeah, of course. What do you think, Taylor? You've been freedom for so long?
I'm kind of excited, but I'm kind of not. I mean, I think it'll be fun, but I just don't like missing school.
Oh, yeah.
You're the only 8-year-old to ever. That's amazing.
I hate to miss school, huh? But, like, why?
Well, I just hate having all that homework that I have to do.
Oh,
You-
you hate catching up from missing school.
Your teachers are going to send me homework, and we'll just try to do a little bit of it every day, so it won't be that bad, but there'll still be fun stuff we can
How
do.
many kids get to go on an adventure to California in the middle of the school year? That's pretty cool. And we're going to be staying in the middle of San Francisco near Golden Gate Park, and there's a museum, and there's a botanic garden, and there's the Golden Gate Bridge, and water, and a prison. And I promise not to leave you in the prison.
Alcatraz.
Hopefully you can do that. That'd be cool. Anyway, so we're gonna have lots of fun, and we're gonna spend lots of time as a family together, and lots of time with Joel.
Yeah. It's kind of sad, so, you know, fun. Yay.
Yeah. Yay and sad.
I won't let myself hold anything back this time. I would rather feel disappointed and let God heal my heart than to feel like I did not push myself as far as I possibly could in faith for my sons. It was easier to believe that God would win this battle for Joel when the dragon Joel was facing was blurry, seen from a great distance up on a hill very far away. Now the dragon Joel is facing is close enough for us to begin to see every scale and scar. We can feel his breath. We were confident before because we weren't quite sure what we were facing. Then our confidence was misplaced. When the dragon becomes more real, then our God must become even bigger, even more real to us. Our faith must grow to match our circumstances. We must not, no matter how tempting, try to shrink our circumstances to match our perception of God.
I remember the day I was diagnosed. I remember the hallucinations from the high fever of 5-year-old's nightmares. I remember my mother silently weeping in the doctor's office. I remember friends and family gathered around my hospital bed in prayer. I remember the 2-hour ambulance ride to St. Jude where they could better care for me. I remember the 2.5 years of weekly chemo treatments, the numerous lumbar punctures and bone marrow aspirates. I remember Doctors Bell, Dahl, and Kalvinsky, nurses Jean, Judy, and Dale, Miss Chris in social work, Darlene in travel, all part of the team that cared for me. I am a walking memorial to their successes. I remember the other patients I'd see each time I went to the hospital for chemo. I remember when some stopped coming. I knew what that meant. I remember the years of summer camp for children with cancer, children like me. I remember their laughter and the midnight talks of fears and joys, normal kid stuff. Some less so. I remember when some stopped coming. I knew what that meant. But I remember them. I am, and other survivors are, memorials to those who lost their fights.
Oh, her expectation is so maddening sometimes. You know what she wrote on the eve of Joel's first surgery? The one back in January when we first found the tumor? I seriously feel like a kid on Christmas Eve. I'm pleading for God to spare his life, and I'm tempted to despair because self-inspection leads me to conclude I shouldn't expect much of anything. And yet my wife is expecting a surprise party from the Lord, replete with presents, supernatural miracles. I envy her.
Hop in bed, boys. Let's go.
Boys, get in bed.
Oh, can you at least tell us a story?
sure.
Okay. This is the story of a very brave knight named Joel.
Joel the baby knight?
Yes, Joel the baby knight, but he's also Joel the very brave knight, and he was being chased by a dragon named Cancer.
Because of his tumor?
Mm-hmm.
Where does the dragon live?
In a forest.
Is the dragon big?
Very big.
Does the dragon breathe fire?
So much fire, you guys.
So, Joel has armor, like a sword and a shield and stuff?
Ooh, or maybe a spear?
Yeah, that sounds good. So brave Sir Joel with his sword and his shield and his awesome spear and his super jumping ability was being chased by a dragon named Cancer.
What other superpowers does he have?
He also has grace.
That's not a superpower.
It's the best superpower.
Do you guys know what grace means?
Yeah, it's kind of like hope.
Yeah, it's kind of like hope. You know, and he's not the only one who's ever tried to fight this dragon. Some very brave knights have fought this dragon and lost. And some are able to drive the dragon off. And they can go home and they can quit fighting for him. And the kingdom is safe.
Joel's been fighting this dragon for a long time, huh?
A long time.
But Joel found a nice empty cave where he could rest. And it seemed like the dragon couldn't find him. But just when he thought that the danger was past, the dragon found his hiding spot and came after him in the cave.
Run, white boy,
That dragon
run!
wanted to kill Joel. Joel's going to lose.
Why do you say that?
Because Joel is just a baby. Babies can't kill dragons.
You're right. The baby can't kill the dragon. But that's the best part of the story. God fights for Joel. So he fights that dragon. We're right with Joel. And we know that God can win even if Joel can't. That's grace.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that to splinter off like that.
Well, what about Tim from Church Mom? He died from cancer. Wasn't God fighting for him? Didn't he have grace?
Of course, God fought for Tim too. Tim fought so well. He was so brave and so strong that God let him rest. It may have seemed like the dragon won because Tim died. We know that Tim's in heaven and that he's with God and that God is so proud of him. So maybe for Tim, getting to be done fighting was grace. Ryan! Oh, Ryan, get in the boat.
I can't.
You have to, you'll drown.
We're already drowning. How can you sit there like that?
Despair doesn't help anything.
Neither does false hope. And I'm not despairing.
How can you say false hope? You're drowning!
Well, you're missing your oars, and you don't even know where you're going. And yet you're so sure you're gonna get there.
It's better than drowning.
Well, enjoy floating on the surface like you always do.
There's nothing deep about drowning. Just get in the boat.
You have to let me feel this. Someone has to.
That's not fair. I love him as much as you do. I just really believe we're going to be okay.
Dear Mr. Barnett, I'm not sure if this letter will get to you. However, I felt the need to write to you in your company. My daughter recently passed away after a long battle with cancer. And she was only 14 years old. In our short time with her, we saw her transformed from our wonderful little girl into a sickly child who spent far too many days in her bed full of pain. We worried that we would never see her happy again. Well, the hospital gave her access to a computer, and she found her way to your game. I'm unsure really what it is, but from the day that she began playing Legends of Terrace, our daughter changed. She sat up, she was excited, she smiled again. She told us all these stories about what she was doing in the lands, all the things she wanted to do in real life but was too sick to try. She swam in the ocean, rode a horse, she had birthdays, bought a house, and she went on adventures with these new friends from all over the world. I don't know how to explain the happiness that it brought to us. For a short while, our daughter returned to us. She'd regained the wonder and an optimism that the illness had taken from her. She talked about the strange lands that you had made, the creatures, magical things, and adventures she went on. She lost her battle for life, but you helped bring our daughter back for a short time. And for that, we're eternally thankful. Sincerely, Julie.
We miss Carrie at week 12. Sad, sad. But surely the next one will go better. It does. We relax after week 12. The belly grows. We take pictures. Alex talks and plays music to the little one inside. I walk on the frozen North Sea. Skip the sauna. No risk to this one. Week 29, a sonogram bonus. Twins! We float on air, we brainstorm names. Week 31, we crash. Too soon, too soon. They whimper, open eyes, look into ours. Off to the incubators. We drag ourselves home, cry, hope, pray. We visit, touch, keep track on a wall chart. Stefan's heart beats strong. He grasps a finger. Then he fades, his brain bruised from breech birth. Day 5, he dies. We grieve, but pray for Nicholas. He gains weight, his heart is strong. Then he too fades, his intestinal tract necrotic, falling apart. Day 10, Nicholas dies. We want to die too. We despair into darkness, but hold together. Not easy when a child dies. The what ifs torment for a while. What if I hadn't swum? If I hadn't lifted groceries? If we'd had a different doctor? But we go on to have 3 wonderful living children. Still, we miss these 2 always.
God, that was depressing.
Yeah.
Dear Julie, thank you for your letter. I am honored to have played any small part in bringing your daughter joy. She will be missed within the game. I knew your daughter as Hanara of the Knights Guild. In our world, she lived in Devardic and defended the city many times from the forces of evil. Your daughter may have ultimately lost her battle with that dragon cancer, but in my game, she was the dragon slayer. Since you don't know much about the game or who she was there, I'm sending you a screenshot of one of your daughter's adventures. Sincerely, Paul.
Oh god, that one hit different.
I'll let you read that one.
Oh god. Outside the Knights Guild, you stand in front of a particular entrance to the Knights Guild. The portcullis is currently raised, allowing access southward to the courtway. North leads to the Dark Tower. Obvious exits: north, south, southeast, southwest. Suit of armor is offering a quest. Use show quest. Hands. You are carrying a wildly flaming long sword in your right hand. Your left hand is empty. Nara flies to the north. The Lemingrams screech at you. Neris flies from the north, and the loud screech. Hello. Harala says, hello. The sun has begun to set. Across the land of Terrace. Visara, the goddess of time and history, appears before you. Please be patient as I record your deeds from this day. Feel a comforting sensation as a strange glow appears before you. Visara smiles upon you. Thank you for your patience. Nefara says, hey, salute Nef. You snap to attention and salute Nefaris. Nefaris dismounts from her furtive lemigeri. Look, Hanara, Professor, she is a human fighter in excellent health. She appears to be a novice and a order of the Gate of the Knights Guild. She is a great unwashed of Devardic. She is a citizen in good standing. She is carrying a wildly flaming long sword in her right hand. Her left hand is empty. Her armor consists of dragonhelm, padded cloth, thick linen leggings, simple leather boots, rose crest tabard, padded linen gloves. Her jewelry consists of, she is not wearing jewelry. She is mounted upon a black war stallion named Lucky. She is your equal.
I'm reminded that having faith does not mean denying what is happening to Joel. Faith means knowing exactly what is happening and also knowing that God has a truth that trumps every other fact. I'm sure my expectation looks like denial, but seeing Joel dying does not make me any less certain that he will be healed. In some ways, I feel more certain, not because the same doubts don't come to me, but because I know that they will not be entertained much longer, because this chapter is almost finished, and we will have an ending one way or the other. So the doubts and fears that make me reaffirm that even if I'm wrong, this is where I stand, become less and less powerful. people's consolatory words of comfort meant to reassure us and help us accept Joel's death don't sit well with me. They aren't offensive because I know the heart behind them is good, but they are weak words because it's so obvious to me that death is the given. I don't have to work to be ready for it or accept it. It is coming whether I would accept it or not. It has been coming slowly for so long. I don't have to work to understand that Joel is dying. It is obvious. Heaven is amazing. And so I'm not worried about death. It will come regardless of where I stand and wait. But now, death is circling close enough for redemption to finally feel closer.
Don't drown, buddy. Dehydration.
Huh. The sunset looks pretty from here. The orange glow cast on the wall. Better than the muted colors of this hospital. I wonder why they choose blues and greens. They, the ones who choose the colors that heal. Green for life. Blue. For comfort. Purple stripes to hide the stains. This chair is too small. It sticks to my skin. I hate vinyl.
I'm just gonna throw this in there. Never heard a hipster say he hates vinyl.
I mean, we don't know that about him.
Blue. Purple. The ocean maybe? No, under the ocean. Silent, warm, and salty, like tears. He won't stop crying. I don't blame him. He feels miserable. I hate that we're here. I hate that he's sick. I just want him to feel better. It's okay, Jolie. Shh. Don't throw your head, buddy. Don't. Here we go. Bouncing around. Do you like that? Oh, I love your giggle. Bounce around. Is that funny? A bounce, a bounce, a bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, he won't stop crying. he's hungry. He's screaming louder. Buddy, don't you want juice? He hits the box. I don't catch it. He drinks it greedily. Big, deep gulps. Okay, Jolie, that's enough. Breathe, kiddo. And he does. And I wipe his face of snot and tears and juice. And then he vomits. And I catch it. I always catch it. I know you're thirsty, buddy, but you'll throw it up. No, don't grab too hard. You'll squirt all the juice out. Here, let me have it. It's so late, Joel. Lay down. I can't hold you. I can't make you feel better. Okay, buddy, okay, I'll hold you. Shh. Oh, Joel Bug, you look so miserable. No! Don't hit your head on the bars, Joel. Joel! I know you're mad. Please stop. Please. Stop. I shake. I weep. I pray. I plead. I need peace. I am empty. You are. I don't know all that you are. You are there. I want you here. I want you to call my son. I cannot. And you've brought us this far. He's still here, not dead, not there, with you. God, I want him here with me. Please. Peace. He sleeps. Thank you. There's a story in the Bible where Jesus and his disciples are on a boat. And a furious storm hits the sea, and everyone thinks they're gonna die. And where do you think Jesus is? Rowing alongside them? No. He's asleep in the back of the boat. So his disciples are freaking out and wake him up, and they say, "Don't you care if we drown?" So Jesus gets up and he says to the storm, "Quiet, be still." And the sea becomes completely calm. Then he asks his disciples why they are so scared and if they have any faith at all. Like he was frustrated with them. Because even though Jesus said, "Let's go to the other side of the lake," his disciples thought he was going to just let them die. So will Joel die? Everyone does eventually, I suppose. But more than that, if he does die, will Jesus even care? Will he weep for him as he did for Lazarus? Will he weep for me? I think greater than my fear of death is that of insignificance. Or rather, my default assumption is that my thoughts and passions and loves and the stuff of my being are insignificant. How could the creator of all that is and ever was love my son as he did Lazarus? And could my soul stranded on this blue raft awash in a sea of stars, ice, and dust matter enough to him to turn his hand in mercy? Even like Jesus wept for Lazarus. 5 minutes later, he raised Lazarus from the dead.
I'm sorry. I should have known we'd both end up in the same place. We always do. It just scares me every time. I just really believe he'll be healed. I know you believe too, just when you act like that, I get all unsure.
I don't know that.
What do you mean?
I just hope that. I don't know.
Nice place. Third key and sixth key?
Lord, rise up. My God, come save him.
Have mercy on us because he is weak. Oh Lord, my God, let this boy's life return to him.
Wait, can you light the other candles?
Give me 1 second.
Oh, interesting.
Father, I pray that you bless them mightily. I pray that you bless them with finances, bless them with health, and you bless their children, Father. Father, I pray that they will continue to be able to deal with whatever situation brings onto their girls. God, one of you just provide for us, one of the head of us provided for us, and we have the forgiveness. Thank you.
Lord, have mercy on us because he is weak.
Lord, rise up. My God, come save him.
You got any ideas on this one?
Wait, why do all the candles go out?
Oh, I did it.
Just like keep lighting the candles?
Oh Lord, my God, let this boy's life return to him.
Lord, rise up. My God, come save him.
I feel like I had something there for a second.
Oh Lord, my God, let this boy's life return to him. Oh Lord, my God, let this boy's life return to him.
Does the church really feel weirdly culty?
Not really.
He was not in the wind. He was not in the earthquake. He was not in the fire. He was here in that gentle whisper.
So here we are. And the air is emptier without his laugh, and yet our hearts are still full, though with a different drink. And this ride we've been on for so long is silent. And so also the Lord. And so we sit here in this new silence and long for the music to start again and for the disc to spin again, even if it means going round and round for many more years. For at least we would be moving and Joel would be laughing here on earth and not only in heaven. But in this space, I sense his silence is only because he is drawing his breath. And now we know love and longing, empty and full, all in one moment. And I am grateful that we loved him well, and that we miss him well. And I hope that in the Lord's next breath, he will whisper his love song to you, his beloved, and that you will know him differently and more deeply. But now, you grieve in silence, yet not without his presence.
too. I'm glad you're here. I love it here. I bet you have liked it too. Look at all of these pancakes. Did you ever see pancakes like this? They're big as me. A big one is for me. A little one is for my dog. I always wanted a dog, and now I got one. I even got to name it. Manju. Whoa, Bubbles? I love Bubbles. Look, I can catch one. I want more Bubbles. Manju's out to catch a bubble. She likes to bite them. I'm here, Manju. Have another pancake.
Yeah, it's actually really sad knowing that this is like all real people. A lot of the letters were real, the voicemails were real.
He does look like a hipster, though.
Don't ruin the moment. Well, I'll say that was a pretty touching game, I'm not gonna lie. Actually got me a
Few of those,
little emotional and a little choked up at some of those points.
yeah, a few of those letters got to me.
Oh god, yeah, it was like just the fact that it was like the actual people like reading out those letters made that really sad. Well, I'm sorry for taking everyone on this depressing journey.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Doesn't feel like a Merry Christmas now.
Yep, that was the point.